Banner Podcast. Banner Podcast. Banner Podcast. What up, what up, what up? Welcome to Brews and Banner Podcast. I'm your host, Rob G. And with me, as always, is the legendary Brew Crew. What up, fellas?
I got water, I got, juice or whatever. It's like, y'all need twin legs? Matter of fact, I do.
To everybody is, does Delaware have an actual culture? This is the podcast that we talk about beer, but we also talk about a lot of things that's happening in the world. Politics, movies, anything really that comes to our mind while we're here sampling these brews. Grab a drink and pull up a chair.
They ask me what I do and who I do it for, and how I come up with this shit up in the studio. My birthday is a big booty house. All I want for my birthday is a big booty house. When I die, bury me inside the Gucci style. When I die, bury me inside.
All I want is a big booty hoe.
Yeah, that was for our birthday, fella.
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday.
And I am tired.
Yo, you hung out last night?
Yeah.
What'd you do, man?
I went
Tell
to
us a
the,
little bit.
Well, first I did the Juneteenth celebration at the park.
Right. Did it get rained out? Was you good? Because
it rained. It rained a little bit. It stopped, and the sun came up. So that was a good time. Then I went to a friend of mine's wedding reception.
Okay.
And then I went to the Queen at a grown and sexy party.
Oh.
That Doc B was doing, WDS was doing. So.
Oh man.
It was a long night.
Speaking of Doc B, we was just talking about him last week.
Yeah. And then I went.
He had it rocking though.
I'm exhausted, man. Oh yeah. Yeah, it was nice. Man. It was nice. I enjoyed myself.
Now, what was the theme of the joint at the Queen? You said it was like old school. Was it old school, like just hip hop, or what was it?
Yeah, it was old school hip hop party.
I like to say it's more your school.
Your school,
yeah. Old school sounds like. I mean, the nigga is old. He did have a birthday, but it's his school. Old school just don't.
Well, old school.
Right. Old school is
referring to the era of music.
Amazing Marvin.
Yeah, I don't like how he just said that. Though. I'm like really the youngest. I'm the youngest nigga on the podcast.
He said old school. Like
I'm not speaking of him. I'm not speaking about him. I'm speaking of the music. Like was it Kool Moe Dee? Was it like Run DMC or was it like
school? I feel like
90s?
That's old school.
Yeah, that's old school.
Like I don't feel like you would go there for your birthday.
Yeah, we was. I mean, because I like Rob Bass and shit like that. To be
was that what they was playing on your birthday?
Yeah, it was a mixture.
Right.
It was more 90s, 2000, early 2000ish.
Okay,
your school,
songs, but
your school,
yeah. But it was nice. It was nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was real nice.
All right. What up?
Glad you have fun, man.
Welcome to Bruising Banter Podcast, where the topic is the rockin' and the brew. Well, that be the fuel, and I'm your host Rob G, and with me, as always, the legendary Brew Crew. What's going on, fellas? I guess we already know.
Yeah,
right.
Well, we already know. Yep.
We feeling good already. We jump right into the combo.
Yo, how about my face waited till 41 to start breaking out and shit? Like, what is that about? Puberty.
Well, obviously our guests know that we didn't have a episode on Father's Day, and we all sent Father's Day wishes to each of us. So cheers to being back in the flesh in front of the screen. For a new week.
Right.
Happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day.
Happy
Happy belated.
Yo, Rob bust out a dad joke at the damn Juneteenth festival. I said, "What's the world?"
You want to hear
Way
it?
to go, Rob. Way to go. Yeah, man. Go ahead. Knock it out. Knock it out. Can we can do dad jokes today?
Yeah, why not? We all dads. It doesn't take just a day to do dad jokes. We all dads.
That is true.
I burned 2,000 calories today. I left it in the oven too long.
Sometimes I'd be like, "That's just not funny." And I'd be like, "Oh, but it's a dad joke." It is. That's the point.
All right. Well, this is episode 124 of Bruising Banter Podcast, and we do have a special guest with us today. So before, I guess we could just jump into, without further ado, all the way from, I guess, is it Berg? Is that how you say Pittsburgh? Berg? Oh, I don't know. I'm not.
Man, it's Pittsburgh.
It's Pittsburgh. Yeah, Pittsburgh.
Yeah, Berg.
Oh, you know, they say the Bay.
The steel industry.
I'm trying to keep it hit. You know what I mean? No.
Right.
That was that
west
one.
side of Pennsylvania.
Yeah, the Berg, Pittsburgh.
You even gonna give me Youngberg.
First Sip Box. First Sip Brew Box. The Daily Sip.
No, how you been sipping today with the
Probably. Well, I've been up all day, but that's a different story. I've been up all day.
Okay.
I've been up for a while.
Yeah, I get it.
All right. If you don't know by now who that is, we are talking none other than Dennis Guy.
Why we get notifications?
You know what it is. Yeah. You know what it is.
Yo, to
Everything
me,
we do it big.
I feel like that's almost like racism, yo, because like how you just assume he like fucking
Pittsburgh.
because he's from Pittsburgh.
I feel like it's
To me, that was
more
everybody does, isn't it? Doesn't everybody from Pittsburgh like that song?
Everybody,
they better.
I would say definitely in the high 98 percentile.
Yeah, it's a high test
score.
score.
You guys played that. I was like, yeah, this is an intro I can get down with. Okay.
There you go.
Man,
That's
I
just
got
like
on here and said, I
They
hate
play
that
that
song.
they play that at almost every probably home football game.
they play that. They play that at every. They play that at every high school graduation in Pittsburgh.
They play that everything.
Some weddings too. They got
It's ingrained in the Pittsburgh culture.
Because Pittsburgh is definitely black and yellow. Them shits, they got stores just made for that shit. Like,
But the whole city, like all their teams, is black and yellow. That's the only city in the country that.
That was part of our brewery logo design too for our business. You have the bridges, and then you have the water underneath the bridge.
Yeah, it's hella bridges in Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh, born and raised.
Yeah.
There you go. I wonder, does Wiz Khalifa still come back to Pittsburgh? I wonder. Does he?
Yeah, you gotta pay. You gotta pay homage.
Nah, he go to now he goes to the Berg. They don't go to
Oh man, you guys had me cracking up on the backstage just listening. I was like, "Ooh, dad jokes!" I like perked up. I was like, "Let's go."
Man, great.
Wow, you have one?
Don't say that.
Oh man, there's so many out there, man.
Yes, it's a billion, man. Take your time though. We'll get one.
I'll get one in on this episode. It'll pop back in. It's just I get ridiculed so much when I let one out.
No, it's all love here. We welcome it. Yeah, we welcome it.
Yeah, it is.
I got another one. So. I'll leave it for later though.
Thank you.
I definitely have like a grandfather, stingy thing because a much older generation. So my grandfather every night he used to go around and take all the batteries out of the clocks, and he used to look at us and be like, "You don't need to know what time it is when you're sleeping." And I'm like, "All right, that is true."
God, man.
That's that next level.
Right.
Yeah, that's true though.
Yeah, I'll put these in the morning.
Hey.
That's funny.
Well, we want to thank Dennis for coming on again.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
Welcome, man. Welcome.
That's a long clap, Rob.
Yeah.
I was not complaining about that.
Right.
Before we get into that, though, we always like to know what everybody's drinking. So, what are we drinking today? And Dennis, since you are our guest, what are you drinking today?
Absolutely. So I decided to dip into some By War Bond Stout. It's a coffee breakfast stout from Tattered Flag Brewing, which is a veteran-owned brewery out in Middleton, Pennsylvania. We actually just passed through the area and had to go visit some of our old friends down that way, and they were able to hook us up with some beers. So I was like, why not? Let's kick this off with a stout.
Nice.
It's always stout season.
What's the ABV, Dennis?
ABV on this is clocking in at about 6%.
6%. So
I figure it's a good starter beer.
Nice.
Yeah.
And here on Brews and Banter Podcast, we have our own rating system. Pass Me Another would be our absolute favorite. I'd have just one is mediocre, and Keep It in the Cooler would be trash. How would you rate that stout?
I can have another. What I love about this stout, it's not too heavy, so I can actually legitimately have another.
Right. And the ABV is pretty, average. So you won't get wasted off of the one.
And you won't get super full before you feel anything. Some of 4%, 4.5%. You have to drink a lot of them to get where you need to be.
True. Yeah, and normally breakfast stouts are kind of on the lighter side. I think I think one Brewworks has one that's like 4.6 or something like that. Or something. So they're but I think they were trying to. I think it was around St. Patrick's Day, and it was like you can't if you don't start in the morning. How can you drink all day? I was able to drink all day.
That's it.
All right, Dev, what are you drinking on today?
So I decided to crack open a hazy IPA that I copped a few weeks ago when we were at Peabody Heights Brewery. This is their Falkor. If you guys remember Falkor from the movie Never Ending Story. Remember that good movie?
What's
the light
what's
on
that, the flying dog thing?
Yeah.
That was the dog dragon thing?
Yeah. You can
Dog dragon?
Dog dragon.
Oh, yeah. He reminds me of cauliflower. Look like cauliflower.
Yeah. So this is his back. Yep. So this is a delicious hazy IPA. It is coming in at 7.1 ABV. This has Galaxy, Vic Secret, and Barbe Rouge hops, and it is delicious.
Wow.
The pour or the color of it, very, very hazy. As you can see, this 12 ounce didn't last long. That's the issue with these 12 ounce pours. You take a couple good gulps of it, it's like almost gone. So shout out to Peabody Heights Brewery for a delicious pour, and this definitely gets a pass me another.
Stop gulping.
I can't help it.
He a chug-a-lug. That's all.
Yeah, it's so good.
You control how fast it goes away, Dev.
I'm trying to work on this next which is also another Peabody Height. And I got some of these for you guys too, so I'll make sure you guys get it.
Nice.
This is a fruited ale that I got from also Peabody Heights Brewery. This is coming in at a 4.5. And again, it's your I forget. I think Black Beer Geek, she recommended that I get this when I was there and in the cooler. She said, "Yo, definitely try this." It doesn't have much labeling on the can in terms of its characteristics or flavors, but hey, I'm gonna trust her judgment. And like I said, I'll be sure to get you guys a one.
Word.
All right, yo, what are you drinking on today?
I am drinking the Drouse. Okay. Wait, did I say
it?
Yeah.
The Drouse.
You heard what I said.
No, I didn't. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. It's the DROST.
That's more like it. That is more like it.
I'm sorry, I apologize.
Get it right, sir.
This is the chocolate stout, as it says right there. Chocolate stout. And this is from Our Works Brewing Company. They're out of Williamsburg, Virginia, I want to say.
Yep.
Yeah. Williamsburg, Virginia. And this comes in at a 9.2 ABV. So I'm going to be a little tipsy, maybe. But yeah, that's what the can looks like. Yeah.
Gotcha.
But this is what the pour looks like, real dark. I mean, your regular looking stout in my Black is Beautiful glass. And it's real chocolatey. I could say that. It doesn't have like any information on the can.
No.
I didn't look it up. But
any vanilla flavors you taste or cocoa nibs, any of that?
I just taste a lot of chocolate. And at first I looked at with the how long I had this can for. I don't even know. I just got it out the beer fridge, but I'm not sure how long I had it. But at first, when I first sipped it, it kind of tastes like the can. At first, how you get that like
metal, super cold, probably.
It was almost like that aluminum flavor to it at first, but
right.
then I sipped it again. It was I don't know what happened to it. It just went away. It just immediately tastes like chocolate. So
temperature's going down.
Yeah,
maybe that's what it was.
Starting to warm up a little bit.
Yeah,
the flavors start popping.
Maybe that's what it was, but it's definitely
bussin'.
He's just like, what?
Why you stop?
I would pass me another one.
I didn't mean to throw you off your game. You always drink water.
Really busting.
All right, Lou, what are you drinking on today?
Left hand
Henny. Say no.
They have Moscow Mule. Can you guys see that?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
It's made with ginger and lime. It's a pale ale. It's 5.5% alcohol by volume, 26 IBUs. This is the pour.
Mm-hmm.
It's refreshing, light. It's supposed to be effervescent. I don't really never know what effervescence is supposed to taste like. I was going to
say, can you tell me what that tastes like?
Yeah, I don't know what effervescence. I think it's supposed to taste almost, like fresh out the pool, like
like almost like
like spring fresh, linen.
I need more. Come on, tell me.
Like crisp linen. You just hung your shit out on the balcony.
Yes,
dry.
Shit out.
Not your shit out.
Somebody said
bubbles. Not your shit out.
Bubbles, right?
That's effervescence.
I think of
effervescence may have bubbles in it too.
Yeah, like alka-seltzer, bubble.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
that's effervescent.
Yeah.
So I want effervescence to be more fresh and
it's like the seltzer type of thing. So you got like the seltzer, like seltzer water, all that kind of stuff.
Okay, right? Yeah, I do experience the effervescence of it all. It's a good pale ale. It's a good pale ale. Yoda, did you taste this one? Was this yours when Showstack came on? Did you taste the ginger? You didn't taste the ginger. It's very faint. Yeah, it's very faint.
Because remember, I said I wanted it to be more
effervescent.
Bubbles.
All right, there you go.
Bubbles.
Oh, yeah.
Well, like I said, the effervescence of it all is definitely in it. I feel like every beer has effervescence now. That was it? Or no?
No.
She said bubbles. Does every beer have bubbles in it?
Well, that's what the word or the term effervescent means. So I mean. Every beer, I guess, does have bubbles, but I think because we mentioned the word
it's weird. It's one of those words
they have bubbles, you're not sure.
you don't realize you know.
We don't usually describe a beer that way.
Yeah. I have no idea what effervescence is.
It's like inside of your soul, you know what it means, but it's hard to put it in the word. Like the aromatics, it just flies up at you. But as you guys were talking about it,
Dennis, you helping me out. You helping me out, but it's not working. I had no clue what effervescence was.
That's actually perfect. Aromatic and the effervescence.
Yeah, like it just wafts over you.
Right. That's great. That's great. I learned something new today. Effervescence, ladies and gentlemen.
You're gonna be like, "Ooh, girl, that effervescence."
Let me get your effervescence. Put the effervescence all over me. Put it all over me.
In that scenario, I don't know if you're looking for that or not.
Dennis, I'm thinking that's a scenario. Effervescence is the correct word I'm looking for. Give me all your effervescence, lady. I visited a birthplace of a man who invented the toothbrush. There was no plaque.
Bad joke.
Rob G. Hey, Rob.
Yes, sir.
I like it.
Sir.
What were you drinking? God damn it. Shit. Rob.
Yes, sir. What am I drinking on this week? I'm glad you asked. I am actually drinking. I got two for today. I have first up from Wilmington Brew Works. It's their Crouch's Creation. It's a nice Hell's Lager. There's the can right there. And they just started canning this. They didn't used to be canned, but now they got
who is that?
That's Crouch's King Crouch.
Okay.
Because they were I know at one point, I don't know if they still are, they were raising money to restore his statue.
Oh, yeah.
Here.
Remember we talked about that.
Didn't they have one called Crouch before?
It's the same thing, but this is the first time it's been canned.
In a can? Okay.
Right,
they just started canning it maybe a couple weeks ago. About a couple weeks ago. And it's I'll never know what their ABV. I think it's 4.6 or something percent like that. And like I said,
let me
see.
You poured it.
Taste it, Rob. See if you can guess and see if we can look it up later.
All right, looked it up. It's 4.6.
That's Yoda's job. Yoda do that.
I said, never mind.
He the one got the beer.
I forgot to look it up earlier. It was 4.2, so I already know it. There goes the pour. It's not even 12 hours, but I'm already done too.
Lush.
My second beer is the Pog Champ Kettle Sour, and obviously Pog, passion fruit, orange, and guava. Everybody loves a good Pog. This is from Iron Hill Brewery. There it is. Little cat, little. You know that, right? You know that. It's not the first time I've seen. It's not the first time I've seen people say Pog and mean passion fruit, orange, and guava. So it must be everybody loves a good Pog.
Thing, yeah.
Okay.
You taste that pog beer? Yes, I did. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
It's very
Exactly.
effervescent.
Yeah. It's very.
There you go.
The word of the day.
It's 4.8%. Like I said, it's from Iron Hill Brewery. So I am keeping it quite local today.
100.
Keeping it local here in Delaware, even though now Iron Hill is all over the place.
All over the place.
Yes, all over the place.
Right. But they do have 2 establishments, 3.
3.
Couple establishments here in Delaware.
Yeah, at least they originated here.
Right. Yeah.
Did they really?
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, I think the first one was in Wilmington, wasn't it?
I don't know. Was it in
I think the Newark one was first.
The Newark one was first? I don't know.
I think Newark one was first.
The one that we went to? Main Street one?
Yeah, maybe not.
No.
Yeah. We'll just ask. Hey, Iron Hill, where your first place located? No, tell us later when they listen. When they listen back.
Yeah, we will. They'll tell us.
We'll let y'all know next week.
Yeah, we need to get them on here anyway.
Yeah. All right. Well, it looks like everybody has some good brews to enjoy this conversation with. So like I said, we are a free-flowing podcast. So without further ado, Dennis, the floor is yours to tell us all about what First Sip Brew Box is, the Daily Sip, who Dennis is, all that good stuff.
Man. Where you going? Where you coming from? All that.
Hey, where you going?
That long block that I appreciate so much.
but Dennis, before you start, let me just tell you one thing, okay? Singing in the shower is fun until you get soap in your mouth. Then it turns into a soap opera.
I love that.
That's good. I like soap operas.
I had a flashback to my childhood. My mom put soap in her mouth. But hey, I wasn't super mad at it because back in the day, the soaps used to look like those big sweet tarts, but they weren't sweet tarts. Those shape of those animals.
Yeah.
Takes you out until you tasted it.
Right.
Yeah. Right. Awesome. Well, first off, thank you guys so much for giving us a platform to come on and talk about what we do. We really appreciate it. I know it's been a long time coming. You guys are always so booked up. So I appreciate you making the time. Thank you. It was funny because at first I was like, yeah, I could probably figure out something next 3 weeks. Yeah, right. It was like months later. I love it. So definitely thank you guys so much. So a little bit about who we are as a company. First Sip Brew Box, super small business. It's just my wonderful wife and I. We started it about 5 years ago on a trip down to the Smoky Mountains, North Carolina. We fell in love with the craft beer scene and, this small mountain house of a brewery. It was kind of the thing to do in that town. It was such a small town. When 9 o'clock rolled around, the only thing open was the brewery. Everywhere else was shut down.
Whoa.
Yeah, it was a nice little vacation, a little getaway. And, folks would get off of work, come in. There was a dog running around, kids playing board games. It was just a great little atmosphere. And on our way back home, just like everyone that enjoys craft beer, we thought, let's open a brewery. Like it was something super easy to do. No market research. We had a couple IPAs. It was like, we got this. So, we looked into it a little bit and it just way more money than we could ever come up with. And, $500,000 to $1 million to open up a small brewery. Then we're like, all right, that's a little much. Let's pivot and start something where we wanted to send beer in the mail. We were like, oh, that's cool. It just became legal back in 2015, 2016 in the great pilgrim state of Pennsylvania. And so we reached out to the LCB, their legal counsel, and basically asked them, so how do we do this? Well, Dennis, you're one of the first people that want to send beer in the mail in Pennsylvania. So just to be safe, how about you buy a restaurant or a warehouse? Or I was like, what? I was like, okay, let me go up to my sock drawer. Let me just pull out, what I have rolled up. So we were right back at that $500,000 mark. Right. And so we were like, okay, so if we really want to penetrate this industry and create something, we have to do something that hasn't been done before. So we focus more on the storytelling, the branding, the collaborative merchandise, and working with small breweries all over the country, where we work with them to create unique shirt designs, hats, pint glasses, stickers, koozies, coasters, that kind of stuff. And then we take it one step further and we work with small mom and pop shops all over the US that make unique things out of beer soap, beer hot sauce. And you talked about soap earlier, beer shampoo. We had beer soaps, even coffee with malts and hops and everything in there. Really unique stuff that you never would have found out about because they're so small. I mean, a lot of these companies are cooking in a church kitchen. It's just like us, husband and wife. So it really grew into our mantra for our business is the best friend of a small business is another small business. And we just created a platform where we're working with all these entities, teaming the breweries up with these small businesses and creating unique things. And we put them all inside of our First Sip Brew Box and we send it out all over the world. So we've had, since we don't do anything directly with alcohol, we're able to ship to any country. We've had subscribers, obviously, in the US, Canada, Ireland, Brazil, and New Zealand. And we have a couple more places we want to focus on this coming year. But, just to bring it back into today, we didn't even announce this on our own platform. We're just giving you guys all the exclusives. But we're looking to launch First Sip Studios in the next 60 days because we've been focusing so heavy on documentary filmmaking, storytelling, interviews with breweries, going in, and we found a massive gap in the market. And where breweries, we get it. A lot of places are making great beer. So now to differentiate yourself with 8,000 plus breweries all over the place, you have to focus more on who you are. Who's your brand? I mean, yeah, you have a beer every once in a while where it's terrible, but for the most part, everything's getting so competitive. I haven't had a drain pour, minus infection, that kind of stuff for a couple of years now. Like there may be certain beers I don't like, but I haven't had one in a long time that I'm like, oh, let me just pour this down the drain.
Right.
So with liquid getting very, to that level now, you have to focus more on who you are, telling your story. So it's kind of what we're doing more with First Sip Studios, which we're really excited about. We hire our first employee this coming week. So it's finally more than my wife and I, which we're incredibly grateful because now we're both working on this full time. And if you would have asked us, if you would have asked us, 4 or 5 years ago when we started, do you think this is going to replace your full-time job? We're like, are you crazy? There's no way. But now we're both doing this full time. But just reminiscing back at the beginning, geez, coming home from work, hugging, kissing my wife, eating dinner, petting the dog, and going straight onto the computer. I actually bought a book, 1001 Beers to Try Before You Die. And I would sit at the computer, I would open it up and go line by line and email each and every single brewery, telling them what we do and how to work with us. Do that till 3 or 4 in the morning, sleep for 5 hours, go back to work. Yeah, yes, sir. Doing that stuff. And it's crazy. So yeah, I learned that how expensive it is to try to ship stuff from Scotland. I was like, they're like, yeah, we'll send you guys a bunch of growlers. You just have to pay for it. Sure. And then shipping was thousands of dollars. Yeah. I was like, nah, we'll take
gotta get it in a container. You gotta pay for it to get to the port, the logistics from that. And then once it gets to the US, then you got to do a whole nother leg of logistics.
It was quite insane, So, and where we just signed the lease a month or so ago to a new spot. So we now have offices and fulfillment spaces. It's just 3 of us now once we hire on a new employee, but we have 3 bathrooms, and that is super clutch. Like we all just have our own bathroom. I've never worked somewhere and had my own private bathroom before.
So
awesome.
Small things.
So was your vision or your goal to automatically right from the jump to get into the international shipping circuit, I guess, or industry of beer, or like what did you imagine initially, and how did it come to from concept to to go live or whatever?
Absolutely. So at first, our goal was to have more than one subscriber, which was my father-in-law. So he was the first subscriber. I was like, all right, we have to get one more. And then, it just kind of happened by chance, us realizing, since nothing has alcohol in it, we can ship this. People would hit us up from Canada. Hey, can we subscribe? We're like, well, I don't know. Let me figure that out. And then we did. And it's like, yeah, you can. Cool. And then they would subscribe. And then we'll get hit up by someone in Brazil. Hey, we love American memorabilia, especially with beer. No one else wants to ship here. Can we buy some stuff? We're like, wait, I don't know. Let me check. Right. Yeah, we can ship it there. So it just all happened by chance. And it really put us in a unique position, because we truly are the only company in the United States. There's some folks that focus on t-shirts. There's some maybe that they focus just on snacks, but we're the only ones tying it together with craft beer, focusing on the breweries and these small businesses, and willing to take the chance and just send it and figure it out and send it out internationally. So when we grow our resources and get more folks on our team, my overall vision is, breweries in Germany can hit us up and they want to run specific campaigns for subscribers there. Awesome. We get some artists, we get some folks working directly with them, with that brewery, focusing on that region. And, craft beer is all over the world and it's just blowing up. We're looking at working with some breweries from Africa. That one I'm not allowed to talk about because apparently Forbes has the exclusive, so we can't discuss that yet. But we're working directly with some breweries in Africa, which we're super excited about. So that's my overall vision, where we can work with different regions around the world simultaneously, running their own brew box programs in their area to help people learn more about them. Because as of right now, how does a brewery advertise? Social media, Google, maybe Google ads, some of the ones that have a little bit more money to throw into marketing.
Right.
But what does that get you? Okay, people start following you. Awesome. On Google, they go to your website. Great. Maybe they go in there 30 seconds. Maybe they subscribe to your newsletter. Maybe not. But what we do, instead of getting someone to your website for 30 seconds, we're capturing what your brand is, your t-shirt, your pint glass, creating unique one-of-a-kind merchandise that you can't buy at the brewery, and we're sending it out. Now people are wearing those shirts with your logo, your branding into breweries. People are asking, what's that all about? In selfies that they're taking, when they're taking pictures of pint glasses, your branding is on there so it lives longer. So working with us isn't something you do because you want to increase sales in the next 30 days. You do it because you want to grow your brand. You see the long-term vision of your company, and that's what we do. We increase that brand awareness through more than other marketing companies that just want to, hey, yeah, we'll figure out how to make people see your website. Give us money. We'll figure out with your money. We're actually creating something that a craft beer enthusiast is wearing and using.
So I got, I guess, a two-part question, I guess. But I guess the first part was it the vision always, once you said not a brewery, not shipping alcohol, was it always to do a subscription box, or was that always the vision?
Yes. So doing a subscription box, because back then I was subscribed to a couple boxes and I was getting them every single month. And I really loved that element of surprise, that it's like Christmas every single month, that you're opening up something new and cool. And I really like that. And you did a ton of research, and that's where, and I was right, because that's where everything is nowadays. Everything is subscription based. Netflix, Hulu, Spotify, everything you do is subscription based.
Right, that's true.
So I guess, the second part, because I've seen you said it before, that you actually work with the breweries, and it's not just something they already have. Like, you actually work, which is kind of different than some other subscription boxes where they send you the stuff and you put in a box, where you're saying you actually work with them to develop exclusives and all that stuff. So that's actually pretty dope.
So in saying that, you could literally work with a brewery and they have merchandise already, but it may not, the stuff that's in the box that you guys are sending won't necessarily be at their brewery to buy. Is that
Correct.
What's going on?
Correct.
Cool.
Yep. So sometimes we're so originally, if we were going back years ago, it was kind of the model where breweries like, yeah, we have all this stuff. We'll give this to you.
Right.
And that's cool and that's fine. And it helped out, our margins and everything from having to buy and do all that stuff. But it wasn't unique enough, and it didn't create that long-lasting relationship with that brewery that we wanted. So now, and COVID honestly really spurred a lot of this on, because breweries didn't have the ability to, hey, we got this stockpile of shirts. Here you go, feature us. We had to focus more on creating and developing our own line of stuff, and then marry that into the collaboration with the breweries. So it's just crazy. And a lot of business owners that are out there are listening to this. And if you want to start a business or be an entrepreneur, you may think a lot of things happen on purpose because you planned this out over the last 10 years, but a lot of things happen by chance. It's just serendipity of your life just pops up and you just roll with it.
All right. Well, gotta be flexible, especially in a small business. Gotta have some flexibility where you're able to pick. Well, and that's what is the beauty of a small business, that you are able to be a little more flexible and say a larger business where they got a bureaucracy where you can just, especially if it was you and your wife, you'd be like, as long as she agreed, you was good.
Right.
Man, you're not playing about that.
No,
I got a question. You have anything, like any examples of what you like with you right now that you can show?
Yeah.
Samples
my wife, also known as the backstage manager, would actually go ahead and snag one of our brew boxes. But this is an example of one that
she right
that
there
we did. She is right there. Dope. I'm trying to get up.
Look at that. I like
made with the African American flag and colors.
I want to order that quick.
So how does that work? Is that a brewery sponsoring that, or is that you and your wife's idea that you give to a brewery?
Right.
That's my wife and my idea. So some months we focus to causes, and we do a diversity brew box every single month. Talking, and on the back of the shirt, there's a really good quote stating, hitting on a lot of what our country has went through this past year or so. Basically saying sometimes you have to feel uncomfortable to make change happen, and that's true.
What size that shirt come in? Like I want
I want that thing mailed today.
Like you said it's a surprise every month. It's a surprise in the box. How I get that shirt though? Like I want
So some of the shirt designs, most of them we do have for one-time buys right in the shop. So you go right to our website, in the upper right-hand corner is the shop. You click on there, and you're able to look at all these. Because some folks, maybe they don't want to subscribe because they're afraid, even though you can cancel whenever you want. We're not here to hold you hostage. You cancel whenever you want. Just shoot me an email. I'll take care of everything for you. But just to alleviate that concern, jump right in the shop. You can purchase some of the one-off boxes that we do as well.
But you got like the hop man, right? You got like the hop guy, and you're like a hop guy character too.
We call so we named him, and we actually worked with our platform and all of our subscribers to figure out what to name him, and we came up with Big Danky.
Big Danky.
Big Danky. So this is what some of the boxes would look like. So you would have, so this one, we actually worked with Free Will Brewing located in Percy, Pennsylvania. And we actually got them to do some gift cards where folks can actually jump on and order stuff directly from the brewery, which is actually really cool. So we're trying to do that stuff. We did a peace, love, and happiness design with them. So we always try to put in little cards that explain what we did, what ties the brew box and everything together. So if I go ahead and open this up, you will have a small business out of Sarasota, Florida that makes beer cheese pretzels. He has IPA pretzels, stout pretzels. And we've been working with Andy for years. He's a wonderful, wonderful person, and he makes really good stuff. So in this box specifically, we had some pretzels, some stickers. We had some old-fashioned IPA mustard, which, you got to have some beer mustard.
Yeah.
Backstage manager popping up. So a bunch of stickers in there, some really unique koozies.
Gotta add those koozies.
And then the shirt that we designed. So many of our subscribers have Dennis, can you stop putting those little things in there for packaging because they just come out, they get all over the floor. Look, I get it, but they look beautiful,
Right,
and they
It's the
keep
confetti,
everything
it's the tissue
breaking.
paper. You gotta have that. It's a part of it.
It's like subscription. It's like subscription effervescence. You gotta have it falling all out of your bag.
Absolutely. So this is the shirt that we designed.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is what size is 2XL. So we typically go up to 3X.
Okay, good. So you can.
I'm about to order my box now.
So it shows
I like
the collab and everything on there.
Dope,
and it was really unique too. So we're big fans of Free Will. We actually brewed one of our Black is Beautiful collaborations with Free Will Brewing and the Harris Family Brewery down there. So that was, super cool, super unique. Had the wonderful opportunity to actually brew a couple Black is Beautiful collaborations. So I'm happy that movement happened. The tough thing that we're seeing now is just trying to keep that conversation going. So just trying to do the little things that we can as a business to keep that in everyone's mind.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, because I see it all the time. Like you do have like the messages on each. I think did you have something for Pride? I think I saw something for Pride. Or did I? Yeah,
Yep.
Okay.
We came up with designed some unique Pride magnets, stickers, that kind of stuff that we put inside the boxes as well.
Nice.
We always, so initially we thought, what if people get mad? What if they get upset? What if we lose subscribers? Because as a small business, you have to think of those things, because we lose 30 subscribers. It's like, well, AT&T is about to be put on hold this month.
Right.
But after talking with my wife, we came to the conclusion that if we lose subscribers because they don't agree with Pride or if they don't agree that Black is beautiful, then you know what? Goodbye.
We don't do that.
You gotta stick with your gut on that. So like you said, you guys are following causes to, for certain months and things that are happening. So you guys are constantly researching, obviously, what's happening, kind of forecasting what's happening in the upcoming months and things like that. So, I mean, we're at the tail end of June. We're coming into July. What's the focus, and what is it? Is it a straight surprise, or does I guess subscribers get some type of email blast to say this is what we're celebrating? And they may still be surprised at what's in the box, but do you guys kind of give somewhat of a little taste or flavor of what's happening this month to kind of get them maybe engaged and excited about what they should be supporting?
Great question. And as we continue to grow, I want to focus more on some of the newsletter, email blasts, that kind of stuff, because I think that would be really cool, giving sneak peeks. But as of right now, we focus solely on social media. So for our subscribers to follow us there, because we're on 7 different social media platforms, we put out 300 to 400 unique pieces of content every single month. So that, as of right now, is taking up a lot of our bandwidth. But that is a goal, to send little snapshots out via email. But as of right now, what we do, we work with a small artist studios and everything to collaborate on the design, and we put sneak peeks out there. Like, for example, some of the big danky stuff crept out on social media, but they didn't know exactly what was going to be in the box. So we just drop little snippets out there, so you kind of maybe know what the character is or kind of what we're going for, but you do know traditionally who we're working with. So some of the stuff coming up for July, since we're almost there now, since we're a veteran-owned company, we're doing a veterans collaboration for July, for 4th of July, for Independence Day. And we're actually working with Stonebridge Brewing, located in Johnstown, Pennsylvania, which story-wise, it was where my military unit was actually stationed. And there's a veteran-owned brewery there. So we're like, it just makes sense to collaborate. And we're working with Folds of Honor, which is a nonprofit that supports the folks, the family members, and the spouses of disabled or deceased military veterans. So it helps them with scholarships, going to school, so they can continue on with that next step in their life to create a good foundation for them. So we're doing some unique stuff with them. We brewed a beer. We're getting that beer distributed, and I'll try to secretly drop some cans off where you guys live because you can't put that stuff in the mail or anything like that.
No, you would never do that. Why would you do that?
You know,
Why
so
we've been talking about it now.
So we're doing some unique stuff with them. Just really excited. So we're that's pretty much what's going on for July. We're brewing a beer and doing a collab brew box.
That's awesome, man.
No, I guess I need to rewind a little bit in terms of the name. Like, why the first sip brew box? Like, why not fresh drip brew box? Like, why first sip brew box?
Fresh drip, that sounds pretty good. Unfortunately, we've invested too much in branding now. Where were you 5 years ago? What popped into our head was back when we were thinking of to start a brewery. We thought, what would be a good name for a brewery? First sip, because you like a beer from the first sip. And that's kind of so. And what we played on it with First Sip Brew Box, you're not drinking the beer, but you're getting the first taste of that branding, brewery. That story of the brewery.
Yeah, right. It still works. Yeah, it definitely works.
Yeah, and we even tried to throw in your beer gear is here to kind of help people understand. People still don't. They just assume, hey, why isn't there beer in this box? I'm like, we even have no alcohol is shipped. We tell you what's in it. It just blows my mind. We didn't want this T-shirt. Can we get a refund? Nah.
No.
It's a subscription box.
When you subscribed, you wanted the T-shirt.
We even ask for your shirt size. Like, how do you think you're going to get a beer with a shirt size? Like, that doesn't make sense.
I wanted an extra large. I wanted mine to be
extra large beer.
Yo, honey, they sell these beers in 3Xs. I want that one.
I'm getting 4 of them. Dennis, in that vein, how do you put a box together? Like, what inspires besides the different pride or charities that you do? Like, if you're just doing a regular month, what would inspire that box to be put together?
It would depend on who we're working with and what that brewery stands for and what they're all about. We try to capture that in our different designs. And as far as the other businesses that go in there, we're always on the hunt for unique businesses. And some of those companies, for example, Uncle Jammy's Sauces, he's a barbecue sauce and dry rub company located here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And truth be told, he's actually our neighbor, and we love that guy. He's another Black-owned company, and so the reason why I brought that up, because some of these businesses that do great things maybe haven't penetrated the craft beer market. So some months, and if we're going way back, we weren't always as predictable as what we are now. We're like, oh God, we need one more product for this box. Hey, Uncle Jammy, can you make something? He's like, yeah, man, no worries. What do I got? 3-4 weeks, so we can go through tomorrow development. I was like, nah, man, you got 7 days. He's like, 7 days. He's like, there's no way. I was like, Jammy, we've done more with less. Because he's also, he grew up in he grew up in Connecticut, but just a family, bunch of kids. You didn't have all the money in the world. I was like, we've done more with less. He's like, you're right. Yeah. So we got together and we actually brewed, or he made a IPA barbecue sauce that turned out phenomenal. Our subscribers loved it, and he was like, okay, there's something to this. He kept making that recipe. It became his number one seller. And as of right now, today was the launch where he actually got it in to over 200 convenience stores in the tri-state area. So it's just like
7
crazy
days.
things
7
like
days.
that.
Did that in less than 7 days.
Yeah, and he did it in less than 7 days. But that's the cool thing of what we stand for, that the best friend of a small business is another small business. We can collaborate, we can create, and we can make things happen.
Well, Dennis, I know you believe in that philosophy. How are other small businesses bringing you guys mission and vision to the forefront? Who is kind of championing and putting you guys at the front line to say, hey, look at what they're doing. This is great. Yada, yada, yada.
Us.
Absolutely. No, that's a great question. I was like, right here.
You're right.
No, it's a really good question. So at first we were looking just for like better pricing so we can survive the first couple years. But as time went on, it became more of that. symbiotic, mutually beneficial relationship where it's like, okay, you know, we're going to get all your unique stuff. We're sending out to our subscribers. We're going to, and this is actually why First Sip Studios actually is becoming a thing. We're going to do all the photography. We're going to do video. We're going to do all this stuff of your products. And then they share it out there on their platform. They're proud of it. And, you know, the folks on their platform go, oh, that's really cool stuff. And then their folks come and they start looking at what we're doing. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of, you know, the sharing on social media, and they send it out in their newsletters and different things like that.
Got it. Awesome.
So how many breweries have you worked with so far?
Man, you guys are just hitting home runs. So that one, when you saw the Happy Hop that came out a couple months ago, in May, I guess last month, celebrating our 5th year anniversary. On the back of the shirt, we actually did a concert style where it listed all the different breweries that we worked with. I'm just fact checking with my backstage manager. 27? 27.
So you got plenty more to go. You got plenty.
Yeah.
So many. And that's another thing. When folks tell us, well, Dennis, why will we work with you and spend money on creating this stuff when I could just give a couple hundred shirts away to my local folks right around my brewery? I'm like, you know what?
Go ahead.
Brewery owner, that's a good question. You can give it out, but you're giving it to people that already know your brand, so you're not really accomplishing that much. And they're already there, but I don't have to spend my time selling it to someone. This is what we do. This is the brand building things that we could do for your brewery and your business. Subscribers, people love it. They're wearing the shirts. And we actually have a lot of brewery owners as subscribers that are wearing other breweries collab merch that we made when they're in their brewery, which is super cool. So after 5 years, worked with 27 breweries, there's enough out there. If you don't see the value in it, I'm not deuces.
Right.
You know, I'm not going to spend all my time.
Get in where you fit in.
Right. Yeah, I definitely could feel
you either need us like we need you, or, you know, hey, partnerships always work well when people realize that there's just value in partnership. You can't do this stuff by yourself.
What they kind of the company reminds me of is like being a creative director for like artists or whatever the case is. Like you look at you get to know that person, and then you come up with
solutions.
You create a marketing something that would fit them. Like you know what I'm saying.
Right.
That's unique. That's unique to that person. So y'all basically creative.
I like that. I'm gonna start. I have to start writing this stuff down.
You
guys are just dropping.
It's live right now. It comes out on YouTube, and we'll be on podcast versions on Tuesday. So
we only ask for 5%, so nothing.
That's it.
We're gonna have to negotiate that.
5% don't divide by 4.
Throwing numbers out.
Yeah, I don't like the division ain't right. 5 divided by 4 don't work.
When going back to what you're saying that people sometimes sometimes they want to say, why do I need this? But if I'm like in Delaware and I've never been to a California brewery, and I'm like, well, now I got this California T-shirt, and now I want to know about this brewery. So hey, I got a trip coming out next week to California to Los Angeles. Like, I need to go.
Exactly. Or it could even spark your trip to California,
right?
Because you got like, now I want to go to this brewery, and now it's 3 more breweries within a mile. I'm about to make a beer run to California based off of this collaboration that Brew Box did. Yeah,
absolutely. And we've had subscribers do that. Shout out to Chris Carr. He's the head brewer for Oryx Brewing in Emsworth, Pennsylvania. And he did that. They scheduled a whole vacation around a brew box that we sent them going up to Maine. I was like, wow, see right there. This stuff works.
That's good.
Yeah, I love it. The concept is nice, and y'all are doing good, man. I like it.
Thank you.
I appreciate that. I guess you're the veteran. I guess I want to assume that you're the actual veteran.
Yes.
Okay. I don't like, because I ain't Anybody could be the veteran. Nigga, your wife could have been.
That's
the
true.
veteran.
My wife's the veteran.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, we always say I'm the military veteran. She's the veteran for dealing with me. We both.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. She definitely needs some compensation.
Speaking of that, so a dad joke popped in my head. Whenever,
Here we go.
I always say this, and she always gives me that look like I'm about to get whooped. It's so whenever we're out and you know how it is, I'm like, one more beer. And she's like, you can have half of a beer. And then I look at, the tap tender at the brewery. I'm like, all right, I'll take half of a beer. Only the top half. And they're like, how do we do that? I was like, you gotta just pour the bottom.
Figure it out.
Pour the bottom to get to the top half. So
that's a good one, man. Nice, good one.
I knew I had some in there.
Yeah, that was good. I like that one.
Hey, that's what's up. That's how you do it. Now, I think in the intro we talked about the Daily Sip. Now, what is the Daily Sip?
Absolutely. So the Daily Sip is our YouTube kind of podcast series that we put together. Okay. Oh gosh, just don't watch the first few episodes. We all know how bad they used to be. We got it all started with this backdrop. So we got this backdrop and we're like, oh, what are we going to use it for? Oh, well, let's just go set up and record stuff. So then I bought a mic and we went out to a couple places. We're recording. I had no idea how to edit. And then I was just recording. I was like, look, I don't edit, so we can't mess up. And then the amount of pressure that put, well, you guys know this is all live, but the amount of pressure that puts on people is just unreal. So I slowly started learning how to edit. And then I learned another really important thing. Don't schedule 3 different shoots at 3 different breweries in one day.
Yeah,
because that's 12 hours of drinking, and so there's some lost episodes in there that never made it. Because the one guy, Nate down at Recon Brewing in Butler, Pennsylvania, he was a little nervous to get on video. He's like, "Dennis, do you mind if we have a few beers before we get on?" I was like, "Yeah, man, no problem." We had 5 beers before we started shooting. He was brewery number 1, so that just tells you the pace for the whole day. So kind of learned that, and then it just slowly evolved into a video series where we capture the story of the brewery. You go behind the scenes. Now we have 3 different cameras that we do where we go and we're recording B-roll. We're putting together some really, really nice episodes. And we just released a couple episodes ago. We did a trailer for She Knows Beer, which came out before the tidal wave of stories and everything that came out in craft beer about how women are treated in craft beer. And it was just lined up that coincided with that. But so I'm also part of the Pittsburgh Brewery Diversity Council. I'm on the board for that. So part of diversity is women in beer. They're a minority in beer, but they bring such a unique perspective and value to craft beer that we wanted to brew a beer collaboration to kind of showcase that and share how women are being treated in beer. So we did like a really nice little story on there. Definitely go to our YouTube channel, just search for Sip Brew Box and definitely check out that. But we do all kinds of unique stuff. We just had on Aaron Jose he's a documentary filmmaker. He is releasing 1 pint at a time, where he's traveled all over the country getting behind the scenes of Black-owned breweries, and also Fresh Fest, which is now Barrel and Flow Fest, with Dave Bracey and Ed Bailey, getting some really good stuff with them. We did a whole episode with him. So we're just doing meaningful episodes behind the scenes at breweries and people that are making a difference in craft beer.
Nice.
That's really good.
All good stuff. Now, I had a question. Hey, now it just left me for some reason.
Probably was a bad joke.
No, it wasn't a bad joke.
No, I love him.
A guy walks into a bar. Ooh. Lucky bastard. That's the joke.
That's the joke. I get it.
I got one. What did the ocean say to the beach?
What?
Nothing. It just wave.
I can listen to these all day. You guys need to set up just an episode of Never Ending Dad Jokes. I would put it on a playlist while I'm at the gym.
This is our third Father's Day episode. Every Father's Day, the dad jokes go crazy.
Because we didn't work on Father's Day, so here we are.
Yep.
This is the overflow. I'm glad I could be a part of this.
There you go,
my
Dennis.
heart
You're welcome.
really warm and fuzzy.
What's the difference between a poorly dressed man and on a tricycle and a well-dressed man on a bicycle?
What's the difference?
Yes, between a poorly dressed man on a tricycle and a well-dressed man on a bicycle.
2 wheels?
A tire.
I know it had to be something about the wheel. I know.
Yeah, right.
Oh.
But it was a tire.
A tire.
I like that one.
Now, talking that actually did bring back my question. Now, can you walk us through, like if a brewery is listening right now, like how did the collaboration? How did they reach out, and then how did that collaborative process kind of work and come together into an actual box?
And Dennis, to add on to that, on the back end, how do you find the actual creative people to make the product for the brewery?
Now, all really good questions. So how a brewery reaches out, they can just shoot me an email at dennis@firstsipbrewbox.com, or they could just hit us up on any of our social media platforms at First Sip Brew Box. And that kind of gets the process started. But obviously there's only 12 months in the year. So we're pretty selective on who we work with. So we have to be value and brand aligned, so we go back through, we see what the brewery's all about. And as long as it lines up, we're all, we want to work with them and do some really unique stuff. So how it starts, we like to do it at least a couple months ahead of time. So we're not rushing. We try to put those days behind us of, it's January 3rd and we're trying to find a January brewery to work with, so those days are mostly behind us as of right now. For example, we're booked up until fall, later on in fall time, which is great. So it gives us enough time to work with small artists, and some of the ones that we have just found, but honestly, through social media, we really enjoyed what they're doing, their vibe, their design work. We reach out to them. We try to focus on the same pillars that we are as a business: veteran-owned, woman-owned, and Black-owned. So if they fit in any of those three, they kind of get preferential treatment as far as if we're going to work with them or not. And then we have some Zoom meetings with the brewery. We walk them through some of the design process, what they want in the brew box to tell their story. What do we want to do? A t-shirt, hats? Do we want to do pint glasses? Do we want to do some buttons, like, patches? And we walk the brewery through that, and they're really a part of that process of what they want to be a part of it. And then we just go through the design process and have them look at it. And we have most of the creative control because we know what our subscribers like, but the brewery's there with us hand in hand.
Nice. And I think your question, Lou, was like, who are the designers and stuff like that in terms of and creating the product? Yeah,
like, and how does that work? Like, do you talk? Is it you guys? Is it Brewbox in the brewers? That's like, okay, we're going to do a T-shirt, and then you go to the creative person to get that design taken care of, or all three of you guys? Or you're the one that says,
is it a different person every time, or
the
same people?
Yeah, that's like he said on social media. You look for the artist. So do you have like a list of artists that you like? Oh, he'll be or she'll be great for this particular setup or whatever.
Absolutely. So we go through social media and we find people that fit that vibe, because ultimately we have the creative control since it's, part of our brand on there. So the flow kind of works. We find a brewery and we work with the brewery around what things they want featured in the brew box. Okay, we got these things. All right, so what month is this? What do we think? So we kind of, within First Sip Brew Box, my wife and I get together and we think what would be a really, really cool design. And then when we have that idea, we work with artists to figure that piece out. Like, okay, this is what we're thinking. We're not artists. Make it come to life.
Right.
So the folks that we're working with right now is Hoot Studio Design out of York, Pennsylvania, and it's a woman-owned studio. And we've been working with her for the last few months, and I just love everything she does. So her drawings, they all start off hand drawn, and then she converts that into the software itself.
That's awesome. Nice.
Now,
do you?
Here's
go
a
ahead,
question. Well, this is a question in terms about, I guess, in COVID. Well, and I know we're coming out of COVID, but I know a lot of breweries were a lot of breweries started canning for the first time or upgrading their canning. Have you found that they, I guess, trying to find a new revenue stream did you find more, I guess, interest in terms of what are you doing in terms of the brew box and did you find that more interesting? And because at this point, I think now people, I think they kind of have got onto the point, I guess, in terms of that they need to have more revenues or more avenues of revenue streams and all that stuff and brand awareness. So have you seen that uptick in that during COVID times and all that?
So I'll answer this in two parts. One, B2C, so business to consumer. We blew up during COVID. People, because you weren't going out, you weren't going to stores to get gifts or anything. Right. So they were hitting us up. We were sending stuff out like crazy, which is awesome. I love it. On the B2B side, it was extremely tough because, we had 6-7 months of breweries lined up, and I'm not mad at them. But they hit us up, hey, Dennis, we can no longer do this. Like, we let go of everyone on our marketing team. So we can't that was a big blow for us because we're like, shit, wait, can I swear on here? I don't know.
Yeah, man.
Shit.
I let it out.
And then I was like, all right, so we finally, and that was the first time we ever had 6 or 7 months, planned. All gone. COVID out the window. So then I'm happy. Like, there's always silver lining everywhere because that is what allowed us to start getting more of a creative process and stop taking the merch of what breweries had already had. It opened up the door for us designing our own stuff because we had to, and that's basically how that process kind of started and opened up. And so B2C, it exploded. B2B dropped pretty much down to nothing during COVID. But to answer the canning specifically, not that we started doing more free stuff for breweries, like reaching out. We actually did a whole mask where we did first sip masks, and we went around dropping them off at beer distributors, breweries that hit us up and said, hey, then we put the bat signal out there. Who needs some for their teams? And we just drove around hours and hours one day, just dropping masks off, showing up more to breweries, doing more photography, video, that kind of stuff. And honestly, going out, we were like ordering food for no reason from breweries to go. We were just pushing so much to try to support them. And then we actually launched Show Love Thursday during COVID, where we were giving away our merch, our swag, and all that stuff. If people, we would do a brewery every Thursday, a different brewery. If you just share a post, or if you go there, buy beer, we're sending you stuff, and they just tag us. So that was definitely, some of the stuff that we were focusing on during COVID to help out.
That's dope.
That's smart.
Okay. When you're putting together a box, you said you usually talk to breweries. Do you ever do any craft brew adjacent companies? Like, for instance, a podcast or a blogger or something of that nature? What?
Talk that talk, Lou. Talk that talk, Lou.
I'm asking for people that this is for the fans. Everybody wants to know.
And look, why they chuckling and laughing and shit.
I don't know what's all the giggling.
They got the giggles. They got the giggles. That's all.
Look, I'm a fan.
Juice. They ain't drinking craft beer. They drinking giggle juice.
But you every time you talk about
working, damn it, he went out.
Every time you talk about working with a particular on the subscription side, you say it's a brewery, but do you have craft beer adjacent different collaborations that you do besides the breweries?
Absolutely.
Like podcasts and things?
We have not done a podcast yet, but I'm actually not against it. If there's if they're value aligned, and I don't know, maybe a podcast, for example, just like this one, I would definitely be
three of us
open
have
to it.
wives. One's married to a veteran, and we're all black.
You're just checking all the boxes. There ain't no boxes left to check.
Right. And we
drink beer. And we drink beer.
And we drink beer.
It's super cool. No, we do. So, for example, back when Fresh Fest was Fresh Fest, we featured them for a month. We did it as like a pre-game Fresh Fest box where you get some of the dope swag and merch inside of that box the month before Fresh Fest happened. So we've worked with different beer trails that, you know, they are different tourism bureaus that are putting together and we come up with different t-shirt designs and stuff for them where they're focusing so much on helping small breweries. We're like, that's what we're all about too. So we definitely have done things like that.
Yes.
Nice. Now going back, I guess it's kind of like COVID thing. Like you were saying that during COVID, it forced y'all kind of to be more creative in terms of developing your own type of products and stuff. So that's something we can expect going forward, where maybe a whole boxes or first Sip Brew Box type of inspired things where you're expanding your own brand in terms of that, because with Big Danky and maybe Mrs. Big Danky, I don't know.
I feel like it's a comic book. I want to see a comic book.
I've been actually playing around with some animation stuff, so we'll see what we can put together there. No, but it could potentially happen. So if you do see total, brew boxes like that, 9 times out of 10, it's either, still brand focused where we're working with a charity or a nonprofit or something like that, or a brewery last minute backed out on us. And now we have to come up with like our own stuff.
So Dennis, you could have been asked this question, or you could have talked about it, but my computer had to upgrade or do something. Yep. I wanted to know, like, between you and your wife, like, what is your educational background?
Education.
How did you?
Yeah, he was going to say education.
How'd you get into being able to design stuff, or were you just kind of learning off the cuff how to grow your business, or did
somebody
you
got a
have a background in just marketing and or in these talents that it took to grow group
you ain't had to ask that. He just said B2B and B2C. He got a marketing background.
To be fair, it is a phenomenal question because neither one of us have a marketing background.
Really?
I grew up super broke and poor. So just so like that hustle. That
right, so you got a hustling background.
I got that. So that's
the best kind of marketing 101.
Right.
Like life taught me. And then, so I did right out of high school, joined the military. I was an engineer in the Army, then went from the Army to Best Buy. So I was a manager at worked my way up to managing a retail location for Best Buy. So that's where I got a lot of my merchandising, branding, that kind of stuff. Then went from there to the oil field. So I was an engineer out there on drilling rigs. And then from there to banking. So I was a branch manager of a bank.
You learned everything: finance, manufacturing, labor. You were doing it all.
So just learn through the hustle. I went to school too, but honestly, looking back on it, if the Army didn't pay for so much of school, I wouldn't. And even now looking at it, like personally, if you're starting a business, you do not need to go to school.
Right.
You need to get out there and you need to work for small businesses, work for startups, and learn all that stuff. Because even the interns that we're bringing on, they know a lot of the theory, but I'm like, that is good stuff, but that's not even relevant for like the last 2 years. And then they're working with us and getting all like the up-to-date stuff.
Right, because they're green enough to just mold them.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely.
And they writing books every year, but the stuff is always, every time I get a book, it's dated. It can't help but be dated.
That's true.
It's just so quick out there.
Life experiences with what you're doing.
What can you tell us about Wifager? Like, what is her role
He's just making up. He's making up.
Right.
I like that.
Education.
I'm not even going to argue with him because he says it with so much
That's how it
confidence.
goes.
I was like,
I know what my wife is to me, so I'm sure his wife
This is like that's an
Education. I knew what you talking about.
Education.
it's like wife plus integer. There's one wife that's an integer. I like it.
So what would you say her main talent is that kind of completes the First Sip Brew Box organization? What does she bring? What element does she bring?
Ooh, happiness, joy. She is the greatest woman on the planet.
You better say
right there. He
is way better than I deserve.
Good answer.
He's scared.
That's on tape. That's recorded. She can play that back anytime she want now.
The part you left out is you might as well say it. How did I land you?
No,
How did I
knows
land
that.
you? Right,
I'm going to walk on eggshells for the rest of my life because I know I batted out of this park. So.
Right. But go ahead, continue.
She was a social worker and has her master's in social work for 10 plus years. And what she brings is the understanding people aspect, because after being a therapist for so long, you really know people, and she's helped the business with what partnerships to focus on, where to go. Because if you have a beer with me and you're not, and also in a personal relationship basis, if I have a beer with you and you make me laugh, I'm like, oh, this guy's my buddy. He's a really nice guy. And she's like, they're trying to learn more about our business. I'm like, oh, here I thought they were just buying me appetizers and giving me free beer.
You better trigger that discernment in there.
Oh, man.
She knows that, and she's also the artist. She had such a love of photography growing up and through college, but that got put on pause because as you become an adult and you're out there working for corporate America, of the things that you really, really enjoyed, unless you're doing that, you just got to throw it away and focus on that 9 to 5
keepsake.
But
so this actually gets her back into her loves. And
absolutely.
Absolutely.
Awesome. And she actually, so First Sip Brew Box has always been kind of, like my brainchild, but without her, it never would have happened. She helped steer my focus, man. I would have been creating apps, learning Japanese, making a coffee food truck. And she was like, this is all insane. You need to focus on one thing.
Right.
So she's helped so much with that.
And learning Japanese.
No, I wasn't. Well, I'm a big anime fan, so that's kind of
good. All the random things you threw out.
But she actually, this gave her the opportunity to focus more on what she's happy about. She launched her own photography business, Sammy Jean Photography. And it's crazy because since she launched that, that's what helped us lead to First Sip Studios. Because I'm like, wait, you created a whole side business just on photography with all the skills that you've learned doing all the photography for First Sip Brew Box. I was like, why don't we just build this in? And that's what we did. And now she has her own business, and she's a basketball coach, which makes her even infinitely cooler than me, like forever. Right. I'll still beat her one-on-one. Only because I'm 6'5" and she's 5'10".
I was about to say,
are you? Oh wow!
But she her shot is insane.
How come she didn't come on up? Yeah, that's it.
She coaches a range of ages, so AAU, which is like a travel league.
Oh, okay. Oh,
so
how come she didn't come on the show? Yeah.
Oh, she is not a look at me type person. She is a behind the scenes,
not a look at me type person.
No, you would have to book 6 months out, like you guys did with me, for her to build up enough to like, okay, let's. She's getting better. She's getting a lot better at being in front of the camera.
She could have came on with you.
It's funny though that he said social work. I think that's like one of the top 2 professions that it said used to be in social work. They be like, "Fuck these people."
Yeah, that is true.
You know why though?
We hear a lot of
It's
it.
not fuck these people. It's definitely not fuck these people. It's fuck the salary because they don't get enough to deal with them.
these people.
Oh, yeah,
How are you
exactly.
going to demand they have a master's degree or a doctor's degree and then pay them nothing?
Nothing worth the master's degree.
I pay more to go to school for it than I get paid.
Going to school then at that point it's like a life sentence. You're paying. I think
if she got her master's, or if any social worker got their master's and they come out 6 figures with the potential to make even more, it would be a lot more social workers that won't be like fuck this job. They figure out a way to love these people.
This is crazy because
that's why they do it. Yeah, that's why they do it.
They're important.
All these.
It's crazy.
Everybody who works with people don't get paid enough,
right?
Except for.
Because I always hear that though.
Good people and the folks out there that social workers are helping. I mean, they're the people in our society that need the help.
Right.
So how are you going to say you need all this education, not pay them anything, but put them with the folks that need the most support? It doesn't make sense. The whole system.
Then you got 30 people on your caseload when you should only have 15. It's stupid.
It's ridiculous.
And so I might as well throw this out there. So her job that she had, and this was another contributing factor to her leaving.
Go ahead, Rob, post it. She just said amen. Post that thing.
Another contributing factor to her leaving was, after she was able to work from home for so long because of COVID, it helped us get so much more done with the business. So it leveled that up. But also they started demanding that she goes back out there. She's like, but it's not even safe yet. We're not vaccinated. We're not even able to there is no vaccination yet. They forced her to go back out. And I have asthma. Don't tell the army. I lied on all the applications because the only thing that triggers my asthma.
Brother's watching. What are you talking about, Dennis?
Unless I go to Iraq and they're just throwing cats at our Humvee, like nothing's going to happen. Which is a weird form of warfare. But so they forced her back out to work, and then she came home, brought home COVID. We both got it, and it was the worst thing I've ever experienced in my life.
Me too, man.
And so it just made us okay, so that company, they don't care. They don't care about you.
Let's double down, roll our sleeves up, and let's figure out an exit strategy from corporate, and let's do the damn thing that we know we are invested in, proud of, and not. Your colors are changing, Dennis. You just had
Dennis, the beer guy. You know what? This is like beer number 3 or 4. We're just rolling through them.
Y'all want to know something that happened to me?
What's that?
I got carded at the liquor store. My Blockbuster card accidentally fell out.
Oh,
the cash. And you know what? The cashier said, "Never mind. I don't need your ID."
Oh man, only one Blockbuster.
Yo, I ain't gonna lie. My wife is cracking up across the room. She is dying. Sammy liked that one.
Yo, speaking of the beer, what do you like? What kind of beer do you and your wife prefer? Like what style or things of that nature? And how long have you been drinking beer?
Well, today probably like 8 hours. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just saying.
More since the morning. Didn't even brush his teeth yet. He said, "Fuck it, crack can."
Brush his teeth with them hot.
Alcohol kills all the bacteria.
Right.
I'm just entrepreneur life. I'm just trying to save time.
Right.
Gotta save money too.
You save
a gallon of water and you save toothpaste. You're good. Just swig around some beer. You're clean.
But it's crazy that you asked that because our tastes and styles have just changed over the years. If I had to pick a year, probably back 2015. Now, been drinking beer a long time, especially being in the military, but we were just drinking Bud Red, Bud Lights, all that stuff. We didn't know any better. And in the early 2000s, there really wasn't there was, but you weren't finding them around any military installations or anything.
Right.
But traditionally, we both started off just being big porters, stouts, all dark beer all the time. We used to hate IPAs. And we used to not drink anything with any bitterness. But over the last 5, 6, 7 years, that has slowly evolved to where I love me a West Coast IPA. I enjoy some of the hazy, some of the New England styles, but what I keep going back to is either a hoppy backbone pale ale or a West Coast style IPA. I'm still obviously a big fan of stouts, which I will drink those all day, every day.
Right.
My wife she loves sours. She loves saisons. She loves Belgians. And then I started realizing, baby, you love all the like 9% drinks. And she's like, yeah, I got to put up with you. I'm like, I get it. That makes sense. Yeah, she's still not the biggest IPA fan, but there's still some. So I actually had, when we were doing our collaboration beer at Stonebridge Brewing, he made a sour IPA, which I was like, I'm going to hate this. This is weird. Yeah. But I actually ended up loving it, and she enjoyed it.
Those sour IPAs are right
I've
up.
Had two different. I've had two different ones, and two of the best beers. Yeah, for sure.
They were really good, refreshing,
effervescent.
What did I taste yesterday?
If I know the definition of effervescent, them sour IPAs were effervescent.
Yeah.
They were definitely that.
No, that makes I believe
right.
It.
Yeah. Effervescent is when you crack the can and that little spritz gets on your face.
like they showing the Sprite commercials and shit.
That's what I was thinking. I was about to say the Sierra Mist. The Sierra
tickle your nose. Tickle your nose.
Okay, that's the effervescence. God, I've seen effervescence a lot.
Right.
Speaking of kind of like new collaborations, I'm going to a brewery shortly to taste some new kind of mashups between styles that kind of a new thing that a lot of breweries are trying. Like we had one while back, like at a Sour Wednesday, which was like a sour and a stout that people are trying out. And I'm looking forward to this.
Came out with a sour IPA a couple months back too.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to going to this new brewery. They're kind of like keeping me at bay of what two flavors they're mashing up. So
you said it could be a sour stout, or it is a sour stout.
We tried a sour stout.
Yeah, we've had
we had one.
It was really good.
It was good. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, that was my top 5.
That's blowing my mind. I don't even know what to think.
Yeah,
it's really good. If we can get we should be able to get our hands on it now because
they're bottling it now.
Yeah, I'm sure they're bottling it now. So
they bottled it. They bottled it.
Okay. But he said he was just experimenting and was just like, I got some time, and it came out. And he was like, I like it.
Yeah, that was
damn. It sounds good. I'll definitely dip into that.
Yeah, sure.
So, yep.
All right. Any more questions?
That's all my questions.
No, do you have anything to ask us, Dennis?
Oh, do I? I was curious. Are you guys? So number one, where exactly are you all based out of?
I just said a question.
number one. Wait.
I assume the S got cut off.
Right.
Like
well, we're in the first state. To answer your question, we're in the first state, Delaware.
Okay.
And all of us are all in separate cities. I'm in Middletown. Lou is in Claymont, which is like 20 minutes from here. Rob is in Bloomington.
Joe Biden always talk about it.
And Yoda's in Newcastle. So we're all literally like 20 minutes pretty much from each other.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's and you guys aren't that far away from us. What is that, like
4 hours?
4 hours? 4 hours?
Probably 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah, we'll be up there. We'll be up there.
We'll be up there in September for
I was about to ask that. Or if you guys
we'll be there. VIP, baby. Yep.
Of course we will.
That'll be awesome. We'll be pouring our collab and stuff, so you guys definitely got to buy our booth.
Good.
Absolutely.
I got one question for everybody. Why can't the nose be 12 inches long?
Because then it'd be a foot.
Oh, you are so right.
He said it like so matter of factly.
Right. You gotta say it like a dad. You gotta talk like a dad when you answer these jokes.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
What do you call sweaty boobs?
Oh, sweaty boobs. I just call them sweaty boobs, dude.
Humidities.
Oh,
that's horrible.
No, I almost said moist towelettes. Like you can't put your hands with them.
Humidities. Excuse me, ladies.
Humid titties.
All right.
So inappropriate.
That's my cue to wrap this up.
That is the cue.
No, it's awesome. I definitely appreciate you guys and inviting us on. We'll have to figure out sometime. We're always traveling, and to come out to your neck of the woods and hang out with you guys, that would be cool. Like maybe we could do a mashup episode or something.
Yeah,
try to come the weekend of October the 9th.
Yes, we are co-hosting Delaware Beer Fest that is happening here. So we are, really thinking not really outside the box, but we're talking about how we can get our supporters, our followers to come to Delaware, the first state, to see what's going on here. And we've got a few people that have already confirmed that they'll be here. So we'll keep you, up to date on everything and where you can come. Maybe maybe you can get a booth, maybe you can, have something set up while it's still open. And, you can kind of set up shop and tell everybody here in Delaware what First Sip Brew Box is all about.
Here's why I didn't want to agree to it. I end up drinking a bit and I agree to things and I double book us. I have since I'm not allowed to put anything on the calendar. So
you just like,
a good sign.
Okay, now when she said we're down, she was like,
since Rob is the point of contact for this, particular for you as a guest, he'll send you the link on how you can actually register. The fee is very minimal to what you would pretty much expect for
if you don't want to work, just come.
We might just come and do video.
Maybe. Yeah,
you can do whatever you want, man. You don't gotta work it. You can work it.
We'll if just lean on us for any kinds of like points of interest where you should stay in relation to where the festival is. Probably be best to stay at the riverfront or something like that, because if you stay at the riverfront, at least you're at like walking distance to things if you want to get and venture out, and you got everything in close proximity. But at least from there to the festival, it's like a short like Uber ride or Lyft ride or something like that. So
absolutely, that sounds like a good time.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
All right. Want to thank Dennis for coming on again.
Thank you so much, Dennis. Appreciate it, man.
Absolutely. Thank you guys. Like this was so much fun. It truly was, because I don't get to go on podcasts often with hosts that look like myself. And this reminded me of, just growing up and just hanging out over, friends' house. So you guys, you created a really good platform here. Yeah. I really felt welcome. So thank you so much.
Good. That's how I feel.
That's exactly.
I'm glad you said that. Like I posted something earlier today, on LinkedIn that just said, did you know that Sundays are those truly kind of sacred days for us to at least unplug without any interruption, to have like a craft brew. This is our focus. Like this is our time where, our families, our wives, our, all of our support systems allow us to just kind of unplug and just do this. So, we appreciate, the support and just, being able to have you on and do what we do. Absolutely. We do this every Sunday. Like it's, wearing a pair of, comfortable pajamas. This is what we do.
I love it. I'm going to try to creep into some more episodes. I'm not going to lie. I don't even got to be a guest. I just want to be another floating head.
Yeah, why laughing.
Not? Yeah, we're on this Facebook Live, man. Tune in just like your wife did. Just be the fifth guest all the time.
Yeah.
All right. Before we go, we always like to know how people can find you, Dennis, and First Sip Brew Box and the Daily Sip and all that good stuff. So how can they find all this good information?
Absolutely. If you want to order your own First Sip Brew Box, jump on firstsipbrewbox.com. You'll be able to subscribe right there, or go up to the upper right-hand corner, click the shop, just get a t-shirt, pint glass, whatever you want to do there. But if you want to find out more about us on social media, we're on 7 different social media platforms, all at First Sip Brew Box. The TikToks, Twitters, YouTubes, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, we're on all of those. So you can find out more about us and see what's going on in our neck of the woods.
Nice. Lou?
What's the difference between Donald Trump and a bird?
Well, I'm cool with dealing with a bird.
A bird is
I was forced to swallow purple food coloring. I feel violated.
That's stupid.
That's horrible. That's horrible.
It read better, but I can't say these words. Violate.
You need to read over these better before you say it.
No, that's the whole dad point. No,
That tweeted one, I've laughed from my diaphragm. Like that came from deep.
I'm writing a book about reverse psychology. Please don't buy it.
That's good. That's a good one.
That was good.
My name is Luke Belgium, ladies and gentlemen. You can find me on them Instagrams.
All right.
Last thing too, because we talked about the Delaware the Delaware Beer Fest. Brew Crew is the promo code. You guys can get 10% off on tickets. Go to DelawareBeerFest.com to get your tickets today. There you go.
Word.
Yes, they are on sale, and they are going fast already. Think 300 sold, more than 300 sold.
Yeah.
And it's in October. It's in October, right?
October.
Yeah, it's in October.
October the 9th. October the 9th.
Yep.
The promo code is Brew Crew. One
Brew
word.
Crew, one word.
There you go.
Yo, I have a joke about about chemistry, but I don't think it'll get a reaction. Okay.
Oh man.
Okay.
And how do you make a tissue dance?
Put a little boogie in it. Put a little boogie in it. Yeah.
You can put a boogie in it. It's just however you want.
That's my favorite one.
Lou got so excited.
I know he's so happy.
I'm
You know like this is it.
Put a little boogie. Get the boogie.
I know this one, Trebek. These jokes.
But nah, you can find me at IM302 Yoda on Instagram. How that's your boy.
Put a little boogie in it. That's funny.
Nice,
That's just
nice.
always funny.
Yes, sir.
Nice.
All right. Dev?
You can find me on Instagram. Dev Drinks Craft Brew. Not only does he drink craft brew, that's my new slogan. I sing. I can pretty much do anything. I do it all.
But that's not your name. It's just you drink craft brew.
Like I said, not
That's
only
like the only
drink
thing
craft
you
brew,
do at this
I do it all.
So
I do
are
it
you
all.
gonna change your name to Dev Does It All?
Nope. Dev Drinks Craft Brew leads, but not only drink craft brew. I do it all.
I love it. I love
Craft brew.
Yup.
Dot. I love
Yes,
it.
indeed. Dot.
That's funny. Sorry, Rob.
That's all right. That is all right.
You picked us. Always remember you picked us.
Right.
That's right.
Anytime you put your head down and shake your head like that, you picked this group.
Right.
Rob just looks like a disappointed father.
Yes. I'm sorry, man.
I'm not. I'm the rebellious son. I'm not.
That's all right.
Sorry, Dad.
If you want to listen to Bruising Banter Podcast, or if you want to follow Bruising Banter Podcast, you can check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Bruising Banter Podcast. You can listen to the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. Anywhere you listen to podcasts, you can say, hey, Alexa, play Bruising Banter Podcast, because we are on Amazon Music, Pandora, iHeart, everywhere. That's why I said everywhere. If you want to follow me, you can go to Rob Stay Bruising right there. Rob Bruising. And we Lou already mentioned the Brew Fest, but there's also a promo code for the Captain's Uncorking Wine Tasting Launch Party as well. Sir. That is going on Saturday, August 7th at 1 p.m. and at Wagon House Winery, and there's Three Boys Brand in Swedesboro, New Jersey. The promo code is Wine Time. You get 15% off. You can go to You can go to the Trauma Survivors Foundation.org. And check them out on Facebook as well. So if you win the wine, so we versatile over here. We got Brew Fest or Wine Fest. Everything you want to do, we got it all for you to get.
That's right,
Swiggy.
That's what always arriving.
Yo, guess what?
We got it all for you.
I used to be addicted to soap. I'm clean now.
You should still be addicted. You should never be clean from soap. Always be addicted to soap, ladies and gentlemen. Get your effervescence on in that. Effervescence on in the shower. All them bubbles. Get some bubbles on your ass.
Right. There we go.
Listen, the brewery is direct messaging me saying put my beer in before last call. So fellas, I'm out. They trying to look out for me. I appreciate their hospitality, even though I'm not there. So
all right, this has been episode 124 of Brews and Banter Podcast. Once again, want to thank Dennis Guy for coming through. First Sip Brew Box. Definitely check it out.
Thank you so much, Dennis.
Absolutely, my pleasure.
Appreciate the whole Brew Box team. Thank you, guys.
Yes.
Until next time.
Have a good week, everyone.
Bye, guys.
Who's this? Nobody know?
What's that?
Who this?
Oh, Tess Henley.
From Pittsburgh?
I don't know where she's from.
Usually an Indian have a theme.